The trading system has probably been the most hated thing inside Pokemon TCG Pocket since it got announced. It got like sort of washed away by the fact that we had a really exciting new set. But this was something I did address on stream, and I said I'm gonna wait and see because there's no way they leave it in its current state. So they have finally responded to trading. Now I'll go through this post. I'll talk about my thoughts, what I expected from trading, and what I hope they will actually make trading be, because trading, it was never going to be overpowered. I never had big expectations of trading, but like what it actually turned out to be was like even worse than my bare bones expectations. So I wanted to go through that stuff. But the great thing that trading did offer us was some fantastic memes over on Reddit. This one was one of my favorites. There was a post that said, "Don't worry, I fixed the logo. Pokemon card game Pocket." It was, dude, honestly, as much as it sucked and like we needed to get it fixed, when people get angry, like the funny stuff that comes out is great. And this one, unfortunately, does sum up basically what it is. Now, obviously, you can scrap 23 diamond cards to trade an EX, but it's still a really horrible system. So some of the memes, really, really funny stuff, but let's go through this post, have a talk about it, and then I want to go through, once again, what I really envision with trading and what I hope it can do for the game, because I think it has the chance to really make the game amazing for new players whenever they come in. But in the current state of trading, it's just a whales game if you haven't been playing since launch. So let's go through it. So trading feature update. Since releasing the first iteration of the trading feature a few days ago, we have received a large number of comments. Thank you all for sharing your feedback. The item requirements and restrictions implemented for the trading feature were designed to prevent abuse from bots and other prohibited actions using multiple accounts. Dude, LD player just decided to tell me it was booting up. Our goal was to balance the game while maintaining a fair environment for all players and preserving the fun for collecting cards that is core to the Pokemon TCG Pocket experience. So the problem with this is they've already prevented abuse by not letting you trade 2-star or above cards and not letting you trade the new set. That in itself, to me, prevents the abuse. The token system on top of that prevents usability and just makes it a giga whale feature. Or if you're like me, who's someone who played from the start, I often said this, the trading feature for my personal free-to-play account was actually not too bad because I'd played from the start. I had a lot of dupe cards because of my time playing. So, you know, I could scrap enough to trade 2 or 3 cards and get those last few EXs that I needed, like a Gyarados EX and stuff like that. But for just about anyone else, it was pretty bad because the spenders have already probably got most of the stuff they were after, and new players who really need the trading feature, they can't use it because they can't dismantle enough cards. So I feel like the limitations, either you have the token limitations and you let any card be traded, or you have no token limitations and you have old sets that can be traded. And I'll explain that more in a minute, but let's go through the rest of the post. However, thanks to your feedback, we understand that some of the restrictions put in place are preventing players from being able to casually enjoy the feature as intended. We are actively investigating ways to improve the feature to address these concerns. Going forward, we also plan to offer multiple ways to obtain trade tokens, including through event distributions. As always, thank you for being part of the Pokemon TCG Pocket community. So that is the post that they went through. Now, it's just them acknowledging the issue. What they do to fix it, they're obviously still looking into it. So I want to give my feedback. Leave a like on the video if you agree with my feedback. Leave it in the comments if you have any other suggestions. But honestly, for me personally, I think the trade tokens in their current scarcity should exist only to be able to trade 2-star and higher rarities. So the trade token limitation kind of makes sense to me if you're trying to trade for those higher rarities, whether it be the 2-star cards, the immersive cards, or the crown rares. Then the very hard acquisition of these kind of makes sense, and you can leave it in older sets. I think for even have them for 1-stars because they're aesthetic. But I think for the 1 diamond and 2 diamond, which are already perfectly fine, you can just trade them away, no worries. I think personally for the 3 diamond and the 4 diamond, if you want to call them EX cards, they should just have no trade currency. I don't see why that the trade currency restriction should apply to like normal EX cards. Now, if it was EX cards from the current set, then yes, that would make sense to me. But when it's from old sets, I don't work at the company, but I would have to assume that the bulk of the income they are making is from new sets, because new sets come out. People, like, honestly, the game's pretty free-to-play friendly if you're happy to wait for cards and you play the long haul. In that, you can probably gather a lot of the cards through the set just by the, 2 free packs you get daily, and all the other hourglasses we get through the game. But the money comes from people wanting to get stuff straight away as a new set comes out and then dumping into it. So what my suggestion would be is remove trade tokens from EX and below. So that if there's and that's on old sets. I'll talk about the new set in a minute if we want to talk about trade tokens, but this is something I don't think they will do, and I'm not too fussed if they don't. So let's have it so that the old sets, in the current state, Mythical Island and Genetic Apex, you should not have to use any trade tokens to trade 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 3 diamond, or 4 diamond cards. That way, a new player coming into the game can get in, open some packs if they of the new set, and then maybe opens a few packs of the old set, and any cards that they don't want to use to build a deck from those old set packs they get, because you do get a good influx of hourglasses from all the missions and stuff as a new player. So you can open a few of the old packs, aim for some of the cards you want, and then trade off the ones you don't want to get the pieces for a deck you want to build based on the new set. And then you can keep opening the new set. That's how I envision trading to be. I thought it was going to be a fantastic system so that if you come as a new player, your main thing is opening a few packs on old sets so you can trade and get the core pieces that you need from old sets. And then your main pack openings are going to happen from the new set, which can't be traded. So then you're going to have to pop those packs, and people are still going to spend to get those new packs, but just let us have easy access to those staple cards that you need to build your deck from the old sets. That's what I was really hoping trading would be. I know some people were hoping any card trade anytime. That was never going to be the case. That's why I say I had low expectations, but I was hoping with something like I think it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I haven't played it in a few years, but back when I used to start a new account, open a bunch of packs. They had a crafting system instead of a trading system, and you could just dismantle cards, and basically I could jump into that game within a few hours on a fresh account. I could build any deck that I wanted to play in that game. It may have changed over the last few years because I haven't played that in a while, but that's what I thought when I heard trading in Pokemon TCG Pocket. That's what I thought it was going to enable. If you're a new player, you can come in, get all the old cards that you need to build, say, one deck that you really want to play. Then you start hunting the new packs to complete that deck. Then you might have to split some time, or you just keep opening the new pack to get as many cards as you can from that one because it's exciting and new. And then once another new pack comes out, and now you can trade those old cards from, let's say, A2A comes out, or whatever we're going to call it. And the A2 set, which is the Space-Time Smackdown, is now tradable. Now you can trade all those cards that you've got there, your 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 3 diamond, 4 diamond, for the Genetic Apex and Mythical Island for other decks that you want to build. That is how I would love to see trading work. And I just think, I don't think that's going to destroy them. I just think it makes the game more friendly to new players. And honestly, I would imagine that would lead new players to spend more on the newer packs, because you don't want to come into a game and go, okay, I got to open all these old packs just to get cards so I can build decks with these new packs. It's just going to look too overwhelming on how much you would have to spend to actually play the game to any functionality. And it's just going to drive people away, in my opinion. So I would love to see that there is no limitations on old sets for trading EXs and below, so that you can get the competitive cards to build a deck. Then rare cards, we can talk about that. Once again, I think having in the current state of the tokens, the trade tokens, I think trade tokens should be usable to trade any rarity, and then you can just upscale the cost of it so that even a free-to-play player, maybe you have to play for like 2 months to be able to trade a crown rare, but eventually you will be able to get enough dupe cards to go ahead and get those trade tokens to do it. I think the trade tokens is a good way to add scarcity to trading highly rare cards. Now, the other thing I was going to say is maybe you could use trade tokens to trade cards being, 1 diamond to 4 diamond in the current set, but once again, that would take trade tokens. That is a pipe dream. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think we're ever going to be able to trade the newest set as it comes. That is their cash cow. That's where they're making all their money. I would love to see it, but once again, I don't envision that they will actually do that. But Sorry for a bit of a ramble, but that is my general thoughts about trading. I think scrap the idea of tokens for anything 1 diamond to 4 diamond, that being EX and below, for the old sets. And all you got to do is have the cards, trade them away, have the stamina. The stamina is already a limitation. So I think that is a perfectly fine way to do it. Makes the game more friendly to new players and lets new players get excited about opening the new pack instead of having to try and build up a base of their account. Now they can trade for that base after opening like 5 or 10 packs of an old set, so then they can trade. I think that would be the greatest thing to see. I don't think it would break the balance of the game or send them broke. You guys let me know in the comments if you have any differing opinions. Once again, I'm not saying my idea is perfect. That is just the best thing I could come up with in my head that I think would give the game longevity, once again, for new players, because new players are a big thing in any game you play in building up the community and stuff like that. And like I said, even though trading in its current state is fine for me on my free-to-play account because I started at the very start of the game, so I've got enough cards to scrap to maybe trade another 3 EXs. For new players, it's just absolutely hopeless. So I'm curious to see what they do. Once again, leave any thoughts you guys have in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.